should be live. The thing says I'm live. Now it's working. Alright. Let's get this started then. I'm sure people will come in as they come in, as usual. October 19th, 9:42 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Mr. Wright? Yes? Why do you look so unhappy? Nothing. Really, it's nothing. It's not like Gumshoe, you know, dragged in a 7-year-old to testify today. Greetings, hello.com. Oh gosh, we're being raided. Hello, Technicolor Dusty and 7 other people. Fuck it, you're going to Japan to make a drag racing anime, the Geikid. Oh, I'd be down for a drag race anime. I want that now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Small Bear, Billy Giraffe, Ed, Chris. We're just getting started. You guys have very good timing. Right, Mia? Uh-oh. She looks even unhappier. Phoenix, your client is now practically a dead man walking. Yes, Will Powers, we are on the 3rd trial day of the 3rd case of the first Phoenix Wright game. So we're gonna try to help Will Powers as much as we can today. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, you know? The good line is coming? Oh, a lot of good lines are coming. We'll be there soon, I'm sure. Perhaps that's why I feel particularly close to him, because you're also a dead person walking. This is no time for dead people jokes, please. You know we're going into this trial utterly defenseless. Yeah, we're gonna have to pick apart some testimony today. Yet, if Mr. Powers is truly innocent... Welcome, Kissy Face. Lyco's finishing cleaning up. Well, I'm sure we'll all be in a little bit. We got plenty of people already for this trial. We should be able to find something overlooked in the evidence to prove it. Yeah, you know, like how the Steel Samurai is too short to be Will Powers. It's been 3 days. How has nobody pointed this out yet? Something overlooked. We have to find something, Phoenix, today. It's that or lose the trial. This isn't gonna be easy. No, it's not. October 19th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 4. I hope y'all are doing well, by the way. Has your day been good? I vacuumed my whole house, which feels pretty good. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You've heard this game referred to as moral combat, and now you're unable to form a coherent thought. Why did you have to tell me this cursed information when I need to solve logic puzzles? Oh, you're about to rip sprites? Ripping sprites is good. I've actually not ripped a lot of sprites. I've ripped some 3D models from games I own because, I wanted to 3D print my own figures. You're doing pretty good. Still haven't shaken the cough, but you're otherwise symptom-free. And according to the state, you can leave the house starting today. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're starting to feel better, Glebov. You keep getting that rest, drink water, take care of yourself. It's me, Dragon Princess, your friendly neighborhood mom friend. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. An unexpected fact has come to the attention of this court. Yesterday, we learned that there were other people present at the studios. Today, I would like to show evidence proving they had nothing to do with the murder. Very well. You may call upon your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. I wonder if it'll be that producer. Yeah, there's 3 potential new witnesses that we met yesterday in-game, last week. You may remember Salmonella, who is creepy as hell. D. Vasquez, who's the producer, who seems very dull and focused on her work, and not dull and like she's dumb, like dull and like the way she speaks is very slow and methodical. And Cody, who was a child, but Gumshoe's making him testify anyway. Do Cody's parents know that he's here? The prosecution calls Mr. Salmonella to the stand. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to hold my nose a little bit. Or that director. Oh, this guy. Will the witness state his name and profession? Responsible parents in this trilogy. Yeah, you're right. This series doesn't have a lot of those. How rude can you get? You don't know me? I'm the director. I make the Steel Samurai, noob raffle. Oh, I hate that I have to speak in like 2001 leet speak for this man. He makes it so clear that this game is 20 years old. Can we please kill him? We are not a hitman. This is not the correct game in which you can actually kill people. My apologies. Salmonella. I'm a director. Television. Were you at Global Studios on the day of the murder? So far, the only responsible parents we've seen are Kanji's mother, Cop Dad, and Coffee Dad. Redacted, redacted. Yeah, I guess redacted could probably kill Salmonella on the way to go steal the bellhop's skin to wear as a suit. Man, that's a cursed sentence. Yes, Your Honor. Very well. Please testify to the court about the events of that day. Yes, let's hear his testimony. Phoenix, let's start by picking this testimony apart. Alright, you know what that means, chat. It's time to make a save state. As you do, the Ace Attorney strat. If Powers is innocent, you know what that means. Someone in the trailer on that day did it. Yeah, it's almost like we found a mysteriously bent, sharp object in the right shape to be the murder weapon. Happenstance damaged right outside the trailer or something. Right. She doesn't waste any time putting down the pressure. Alright, Salmonella, what are you gonna tell us? I was at the studios from around 9 that morning. During the morning, I was doing, an action scene run through. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area, but I had a meeting in Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch. We're in the meeting room until about 4. Yeah, do not add an before that phrase. It reminds me of watching Judge Judy, and she keeps telling people not to say or like, and just to think before they speak. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. Are you certain of anything, Manila? That's about it. Yeah, that's it. That's about it. We just sat in the trailer. Okay. Sure. The time of Mr. Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. According to your testimony, you were in a meeting at that time. You've acquired a dirty martini with extra vermouth. I have a bottle of water. Yeah, Sal, listen, do you expect Sal to be the sort of person who's, like, capable of taking things seriously? Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Oh, you have lemonade? Lemonade's good. I had a really tall glass of lemonade earlier with lunch. Alright. Yes, Your Honor. Where do we even begin here? Let's start by pressing some stuff. It's pressing time. Okay, so you got there at 9. You're sure about that? Is that when you always come into work? Oh, no. I come in all sorts of hours. It's the industry way. Yeah, I know all about the freaks in your industry. Still. Phew. How do you even pronounce that? Phew? Phew. I was pretty busy that day. Frowny face. Tell us more about that. Red-tailed hawk has been driving your cat nuts. I can imagine. My cat goes nuts when there's a squirrel outside. Wow, you guys all have some very delicious drinks prepared. Honestly, I just have water because I already had something sweet to drink earlier, and like, I need to cleanse my palate with something that tastes like nothing. Alright, let's hear about the action scene run through then. In the employee area. That's right. It was a fight scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. Was anyone else at that run-through? Yeah, he's right about the industry way. 16-hour days with 3 hours of sleep for 4 months, then unemployed for the rest of the year. We no longer have the studio system that we used to. Not that this is even supposed to be set in America, so I don't know why I'm bringing that up. Oh yeah, that security lady was sitting there watching the whole thing. Lol. She was cheering on Hammer, if you could believe it. She certainly has the lungs for it. Anyone else? Nope, just us 4. So only Oldbag, Hammer, Powers, and himself would be at the run-through in the morning then. Since he said Oldbag was watching, he was there, and that both Powers and Hammer were fighting each other. Okay, that's good to know. Everyone else had lunch in the employee area. Well, couldn't you have eaten during lunch? I mean, you guys had like a big bottle of aloe water back there. Yeah, no need for the studio system. So in the end, you didn't get to eat. Yeah, no steak at least. Can you believe it? So you didn't eat steak. That must have been tough. Phoenix. Yeah? Doesn't something about that seem odd to you? Well, someone was eating during the meeting. We saw plates in front of the trailer. Yeah, it does seem a bit odd now that you mention it. Mr. Manila? What did you want? Sweats. Yeah, we can see that you're sweating. You don't need to say it out loud. When I went to Studio 2, I saw something on the table there. There were 2 plates. The same kind of plates as the one in the employee area. Who ate lunch there? No, good call, Switz. Yeah, just tell the truth, you walking forum RP. I was embarrassed, so I didn't want to mention it. But I did eat, after all. A T-bone steak, you mean? Yeah, well, I mean the assistant went through all that trouble. I brought it to the trailer, thinking I could eat it later. Clearly a man who likes to eat. I suspected as much. So when exactly did you eat it? We took on break during that meeting. They took a break during the meeting. I wolfed it down then, drool. You just realized what that weird thing on his head is? It's a fake top knot on a cap that he's wearing backwards. Yeah. I mean, he's a director who makes samurai films. It kind of makes sense that he'd have some sort of aesthetic on him for that. I just wish he'd actually use that towel to dry his sweat on occasion. A mental image I will carry with me to my grave. Wait a second. If they took a break in that meeting, that contradicts his testimony. I'll press on that one a bit more. So you were in the meeting until around 4? But during the meeting, no one left their chairs, and yet they supposedly took a break? You didn't take a single break. Well, yeah, not a one, Switz. What's he sweating so much about, I wonder? If only I had an idea. Wait a second. Maybe I do have an idea. Press harder. Wait a second. Mr. Manila, you've just contradicted yourself. Didn't you just tell the tort that you ate that T-bone steak during a break? Oops, ruffle. Well? Mr. Manila, what's this about? Well, yeah, I guess we did take a little break. Phoenix? Great job. If they took a break, one of them could have gone to Studio One during that time. Your Honor, I call on the witness to testify to the court about this break. Very well. Mr. Manila, your testimony, please. Oh boy. Oh no. Uh-oh. Edgeworth is laughing. Why is Edgeworth laughing? What is this bastard planning? Oh no, Edgeworth, what are you planning? Yeah, foo, we took a break, Ruffle. But it was only 15 minutes. 15. That's only 13 and base 12. Not enough time for someone to say, commit murder in Studio One, lol. That's only just enough time to eat a T-bone steak, if you ask me. Steams? How do you steam? Wait, I'm real confused now. Alright, let's save. Yeah, I have no idea how it did come fucking out, tell me. Oh god. It's a huff of air with a hiss. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's steaming somehow. This man... I don't even think it would be enough time for that, but that's just me. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination. When you gotta eat food fast, you eat food fast. 15 minutes, 15, 13, and base 12. Okay. Someone who showed up for their own murder trial would fit for this game? Yeah, probably. What were you doing for those 15 minutes? Eating my T-bone steak. What else? There were 2 plates on the table. Oh, right. The other one was D. Vasquez's plate. D. Vasquez, the producer. To eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes. That's quite a feat. Steams. I don't know who my one friend is, but they keep opening and closing their Steam game, and I wish that would not show up in the bottom right corner right now. What time exactly did you take this break? I'd say it was from around 2:30 or so to 2:45. Okay, yeah, seriously, someone is just repeatedly closing and opening Terraria. Hold on a sec, I'm gonna, like... Is there a way to stop this thing from sending me notifications while I'm busy? That'd be nice. Okay, let's just close out of that. No, I know it doesn't show up on stream. Isn't you, I don't play Terraria. It's a Steam friend. My eyesight is not good enough to see the tiny little text on a window. 2:30 though. That is conveniently right in the time when someone could kill someone. That's the time of death. So he could have gone to Studio 1, killed Hammer, and come back. I guess it's possible, time-wise. Should I get penalized to get funny dialogue? Chat, do you want funny dialogue? Also, you think there's any way to set yourself to offline? Probably, but I'm terrible at technology. Yes, you... Okay. Save before? Yeah, I'll save. We're gonna do the stupid thing. Hold on. We'll load right after. We'll get the funny dialogue. What were you doing for those 15 minutes? Eating my T-bone steak. Okay. 2 plates. Wait, have I already pressed this one? Not enough time for someone to say commit murder. Okay. Why is that? Haven't we had enough of this pointless line of questioning? Your Honor, the testimony to this point had made one certain fact painfully clear. The people in the trailer had nothing to do with this murder. It was impossible for any of them to go to Studio 1. What? Something wrong, Mr. Wright. Surely you aren't suggesting one of the people in the trailer went to Studio 1. Well, Mr. Wright? Phoenix, this is critical. Think about it before you give your answer. Oh yeah, there was a tree in the way, but, you know. We're gonna get the penalty for the meme. If I agree to let everyone in that trailer off the hook, then the trial is over. Mr. Powers will be found guilty for sure. The victim was murdered at 2:30, the exact time to break in the meeting. With 15 minutes, murder is almost certainly a possibility. I suppose you might say that. Alright, I've got the judge thinking now. Never a dull moment with you, right? What's your point, Edgeworth? You've been doing your homework, haven't you? Look at the court record. The court record? Surely you knew that from 2:15 to 4, the path between the studios was blocked. Mrs. Monkey's head had fallen across the path. Whoa, you're right. True, the break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path from there to the scene of the crime was blocked. The fallen Mrs. Monkeyhead had barred the way. It's actually Mr. Monkey, but Edgeworth has a point, and somehow I feel no desire to correct him. No counter-argument, Mr. Wright. Then I'm afraid you lose this round. Okay. We have seen the funny dialogue. We're loading back in. Not enough time for someone to say commit murder. Why is that? Haven't we had enough of this pointless line of questioning? It was impossible for them to go to Studio 1. Yeah, so if you remember from yesterday, the path was blocked. Do you claim someone from the trailer went to Studio 1? No. I don't want to write off so many possible suspects, but I can't keep claiming the impossible either. I agree that it was impossible for anyone in the trailer to go to the studio at that time. That doesn't mean they couldn't have murdered someone. Haha. I thought you might be thoughtlessly treading on thin ice again. But I see you had at least an inkling of the truth. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? It's quite simple. True, the break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path from there to the scene of the crime was blocked. The fallen Mrs. Monkeyhead had barred the way. At around 2:15, a strong gust of wind knocked the studio's mascot's head off. Ergo, when the people in the trailer took a break at 2:30, the way to the studio was blocked. Blocked by Mrs. Monkey's severed head. It's actually Mr. Monkey, but Edgeworth has a point. And somehow I feel no desire to correct him. I believe we've seen enough evidence. I would like to relieve Mr. Manella from the stand. What? It's over? Very well. The court's opinion on this case is as follows. We have found that there were several other people in Studio 2 on the day of the murder. However, it is also clear that none of those people could have gone to Studio 1. They therefore have no relation to this case. Furthermore, with regards to the photo of the Steel Samurai, given the size of the costume, no one other than Mr. Powers could have worn it that way. Holy fuck! It has been 3 days, and no one notices that the costume doesn't fit the person in the picture! 3 days! Where is the brain cell? No one has it! All that is lacking is decisive evidence that he is the one who did it. If we had that, I'm afraid I would have to find Mr. Powers guilty. Your Honor, the prosecution is pleased to announce that we do indeed have decisive evidence. A witness. Ah, yes, you know, a 7-year-old. Yeah, call the 7-year-old. This is ethical. Who is this witness, Mr. Edgeworth? My witness saw the very moment when the Steel Samurai skewered the victim. Yeah, it's Cody. Order? I will have order. Yeah, because child testimony is always credible. Always. Especially coming from, you know, a traumatized 7-year-old who just watched someone get stabbed. By the way, he watched someone get stabbed from the woods. And everyone in this case seems to pretend that nobody could walk through the fucking woods when the 7-year-old could handle that. I see. The court will take a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear your witness. Court is adjourned. Alright. Well. October 19th, 11:04 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. What do we do now, Mia? If everyone in that trailer has an alibi. I'm sorry, Phoenix. I guess I was wrong. Mia, don't tell me you're giving up. If you give up, what hope do I have? Don't get me wrong. I've never given up on a trial before, not while there was still a chance. Only one thing became clear in your cross-examination. The people in the trailer could not have gone to Studio 1. I thought there was more to it than that, but I was wrong. That's all there is. What's going to happen to me? It kinda seems like everyone in that courtroom thinks I did it. They think I'm a murderer. Don't worry, Mr. Powers. If you are innocent, we will prove it. I guarantee it. No one here questions the victim from the last case randomly showing up dressed as a priestess. Just say it's Maya and hope no one notices the fact that her body figure changes every once in a while. Leave it to us and be yourself. Be strong. You are the Steel Samurai, hero to children everywhere, after all. Thanks. Okay, Phoenix. This one's for the kids. Let's do it. Ah yes, the kids. The only fans of Steel Samurai here. October 19th, 11:15 a.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 4. You would die for Will Powers, he's so wholesome. He's just a sweet guy who wants to play a costumed character in a Sentai show so that kids can find joy on their Saturday mornings. Like, he's done nothing wrong. He's a wholesome man. Court is back in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution has a concern, as our witness is a grade schooler of tender years and this is a murder case. Well, at least Edgeworth is being a reasonable human here. We worry that the defense may cause unnecessary trauma with this cruel questioning. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's pretty fair. By extension, Mia still considers her sister to be a kid. Well, I mean, as mature as Maya is, in a lot of ways, she is 17. She's still very much a kid. No offense to 17-year-olds out there, but you're still a little teenager. Nice to see Edgeworth taking the moral high ground. However, we have no choice. The prosecution calls Cody Hackins to the stand. Alright, let's not push too hard on this one. Oh, he's so short. Your Honor, perhaps you could arrange a box for him to stand on? Oh, right. Guard, please bring him a box. One of those donut crates should do. They sell donuts in crates? Yeah, Phoenix and Edgeworth are also only 24. Mind you, that's about my age now, which is a really weird thought, because I started playing these games when I was younger than Maya. Oh, that's strange. Must be Krispy Kreme. Will the witness state his name and his grade in school? Witness? What? Just because you're all grown up doesn't mean you can push me around. Cody, answer his question, okay? Hey, it's you, the nice lady. I'm Cody Hackins. I'm in 2nd grade. I get the feeling this is going to be a long, long day. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that you're speaking to a child. Try to be gentle. Is gentle a word in Edgeworth's dictionary? I don't really think so. Weirder thought you got married in my age. Yeah, and I'm still single. Cody is wonderful and you feel bad that we have to cross-examine him. I mean, this isn't the worst you're gonna feel when cross-examining someone in this series. I'll tell you that much. Edgeworth is such a little bastard. Witness? I mean, Cody. He's having trouble with this gentle thing. You were present, you were at Global Studios on the day of the, incident? You got a problem with that? Please tell us what you saw that day. What, Pops? You want me to tell you and Gramps with the beard over there? Just... Mr. Edgeworth would be fine. I prefer to be a gentleman myself. A very long day. I think Phoenix is the only one here who's actually decent with children. Incidentally, photographic equipment is strictly forbidden in this courtroom. My apologies, Your Honor. He said he wouldn't testify if he couldn't bring it. I'd like special permission if that's possible. Wait, so you're saying you had to bargain terms with a kid? And you lost? Hey, I just got my new camera. Don't really know how to use it all that good yet, but I bring it with me wherever I go. Phoenix, I wonder if he had that camera on the day of the murder. You better make a note of it in the court record. So, we know that Cody has a camera. He's not very good at using it yet, but he takes it everywhere with him. A new digital camera. Cody always carries it, though he's still learning how to use it. Very well, Cody. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the day of the incident. Oh boy, witnesses' account. I wanted to see a Steel Samurai rehearsal, just once. I found a map on the internet and I went to the studios that day. I went through the woods, off the path, so that old lady wouldn't catch me. Wow, Cody is the first person here with enough of a brain cell to consider that someone could walk through the woods. I was going for the studio. I got kinda lost on the way though, for about 30 minutes. When I came out by the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. It totally rocked. Right before my eyes, out came the bad guy. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. Pow. If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I'll tell ya. Anyway, I couldn't get into the studio, so I went home. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. But be gentle. Remember, you're talking to a child. This kid is tougher than most adults we see here, honestly. So the murder definitely happened outside of the studio. Here's the thing to note. We don't actually know where Cody saw the Steel Samurai stab someone, right? He says he came out by a studio. He doesn't actually know which studio he came out by, right? He doesn't specify one or two, so we want to ask about that. Because look at this. Cody is in the woods, presumably in one of the sets of woods outside either Studio 1 or 2. But the thing is, if it happened outside of Studio 2, it wouldn't actually matter if the Mrs. Monkey Head fell down, because they could still have someone in a Steel Samurai costume stabby stabby. But if it's happened outside of Studio 1, that's a different story than if it happened outside of Studio 2. So I want to know which studio Cody was outside of, and I want to know where the hell his camera was. Alright, let's do this. Let's save real fast. Because this is Ace Attorney. Probably Studio 2 if he came in from the employee area. I found a map on the internet and went to the studios that day. I went through the woods off the path so the old lady wouldn't catch me. I was going for the studio. I'm gonna ask which studio. Did nothing unusual happen on your way to the studio? Unusual? Did you see this monkey by any chance? Oh, you mean Mr. Monkey? Yeah, I saw him, but his head wasn't busted. So you went straight to the studio. Okay, so he saw Mr. Monkey. And at the point he saw Mr. Monkey, the head wasn't off. So when he saw Mr. Monkey on his way to the studio, God, it must have been not at 2:30. Do we need to update an autopsy report? Okay. I went through the woods off the path. We can press a lot here. It's not... You're not gonna get hurt yet. Off the path? Yeah, you know how the studios are in a valley there? If you go off the path there, there's woods. That's where I was. I see. Anyhow. I found a map on the internet. Okay. Was that day the first time you've been to the studio? Actually, I've been a couple times. I never managed to get here on a rehearsal day, and that security lady's always yelling. Right, please continue. Chill, Pops, I'm getting to it. How am I supposed to talk with you cutting me off all the time? Jeez. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You wanted to see a Steel Samurai rehearsal. I mean, I guess I'll ask about it just because we can. You really like the Steel Samurai, huh? Course I do. I've taped every show, and I got all the live performances. That's impressive. Have you been to the amusement park? Course, duh. My dad always takes me. Poor Dad. I think Cody's dad is pretty nice if he takes his child to the amusement park themed after the show he likes a lot. Also, you know, shout out to the fact that they probably haven't told his dad he's here. Went through the woods, off the old path so that old lady wouldn't catch me. You were going for the studio. You got kind of lost. What time did you get lost at? You got lost in the woods. Yeah, I couldn't figure out which way I was walking. Man, I was relieved when I saw the blue studio doors. Hey guys, what color are the Studio 1 doors? I don't remember. All the photos are in black and white. Shit. Red? Were they red? I think they were red. I'm half tempted to go check my own VODs at this point. If they're not red, if they're red, then that's an issue. Alright, let's keep that in mind. Blue studio doors. But guess what happened next? When I came out by the studio, there was the Steel Samurai, okay? Yeah, that makes sense. We've heard that. The Steel Samurai. Yeah, he was standing by the studio gate. It looked like he was thinking about something before going in. The studio gate. The studio gate. Is studio gate a general term for studio doors? Because the only studio that has a gate is Studio 2, right? Is that just me? Studio 2 has the gate. Studio 1 just has big old doors. Gate is not a general term. I thought so. Then he opened up the gate and went inside. I see. What then? I totally rocked. Right before my eyes, out came the bad guy. Which bad guy? What sort of bad guy was it? A guy, a person, kinda tall, skinny. Are you sure it was a guy? I don't know. He was kinda far away. Huh. He's being awfully vague. Okay, so that's a really weird note. Skinny. If you'll remember, the evil magistrate died in his costume, according to what we think now, right? If the evil magistrate had a costume on, then I would not describe him as skinny. I wouldn't even describe him as a guy. If I were a fan of the Steel Samurai, I would describe the evil magistrate as the evil magistrate, not a skinny, tall figure that I'm not even sure is a man or a woman, right? Like, that's weird to everyone else, too. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. Pow. What happened to the bad guy? Huh? Well, he kinda didn't move. Not a bit. Like, he was dead. I guess he's a real pro. What a great actor. Yes, I suppose he was. If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot. Oh dear. If you had your camera? You mean you weren't carrying your camera then? No, I wasn't. It's not like I have it all the time. Really? I guess seeing the killing freaked him out and he went home. Phoenix, remember, he's a child. Use gentle words, but be firm. Easy for you to say. Cody's not the only traumatized child in this series. He's still a poor child, though. Alright, see, the thing is, he said he takes his camera everywhere with him. Why didn't he have it with him at the time of this? Yes, Mia, we know. We're probably the kindest people in this court right now. Yeah, Edgeworth is actively struggling to be a nice person. If I had my camera with me. Okay, so... tab. But you always carry it. You're not sure you believe that he didn't have it. Yeah. I think this camera's probably got a photo on it, doesn't it? Cody, what you just said seems, well, a little strange. Didn't you say before that you always bring your digital camera wherever you go? You were quite clear about that. Huh? Oh my god. Cody, you shouldn't lie here. You understand that, yes? Mr. Wright, a word with you. Uh-oh, was I putting the pressure on too much? What is this digital camera contraption you're talking about? It's, a digital camera, Your Honor. It's kind of a new sort of camera. Ah, yes, 2016. A new sort of camera. Boomer. Oh my god. How do I explain that? I see. Welcome to 2001, I mean 2016. Anyway, Cody, I can't believe you wouldn't bring your camera on a trip to the studios. You did bring it, didn't you? Oh no, I don't want to make the child cry, please. Mr. Wright, how cruel you are to terrorize a poor child so. I don't care if he's a child or a prosecuting attorney. No one should lie in court. What do you mean, or a prosecuting attorney? Are you talking about me, you little jerk? Well, Cody. What? Yeah, so I had my camera. So what? You got a problem with that? Did you take pictures with it? So you did have a camera. And did you use this camera? Why would I use it? I was too busy watching. Very well. Please testify to the court about what you were so busy watching. Alright, next piece of testimony. Yeah, I had my camera with me, but I was glued to the action, so I couldn't take my eyes off of it. The Steel Samurai, he goes for the bad guy. Wham! Then the bad guy stopped moving. He's so strong. The Steel Samurai rules. Ah, is that all? Well, that was brief. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean... We're gonna press everything again, but... There's one statement in particular I think is, notable. Yeah, I have my camera with me. So why didn't you use it? He's getting to that. Relax and listen. I didn't use it because I was too busy watching the real thing. You feel like he's being cheerful to deal with the trauma of seeing someone die. Yeah, that makes sense. He's a child. But I was glued to the action. The action, huh? So you were watching the Steel Samurai. Did you watch the whole fight? Did you now? Yeah, of course. You didn't turn away, not even once? No. Okay, then tell us exactly what happened. Yeah, I'm getting to that. What did he do to the bad guy? That's the most important question here. So the bad guy attacked him first. Yeah. What sort of person was this bad guy? I told you, a person. He was a person. How was he dressed? I kinda don't remember. I was too busy watching the Steel Samurai. I see. You don't remember what he was wearing. Again, that seems to be like ample evidence that he's not wearing the evil magistrate costume. Because if this kid's a huge Steel Samurai fan, he would absolutely open the testimony with, I saw the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate fighting for real. It was really cool, right? Why? Huh? What do you mean, why? Why wasn't the bad guy moving? Well, 'cause the Steel Samurai brought him to justice. And how exactly did he do that? How did he do it? With a samurai kick and a samurai punch. Samurai chop, samurai smack, something like that. He's still being vague about this. What? Don't give me that look, Pops. It's like seeing He-Man and not remembering whether he was fighting Skeletor. Like, the fact that he doesn't say that is so suspicious. How should I play this? Okay, I'm sorry, child. Cody. What? Something's bothering me. Before you said that you couldn't take your eyes off the action. Yeah, so what? And yet, you missed the most important part. What is the meaning of this? The witness is stating what he saw quite clearly. You know as well as I do that he's being vague. Tell me what kind of murderer uses a samurai slack. My point is this. Cody, you may have seen some of the Steel Samurai's fight, but you missed the most important part, the killing blow. Order, order. Mr. Wright, how could this be? Can you explain how we might have missed something so vital? Well, that's the thing. Phoenix, I believe you're on the right track with this. Think, why didn't Cody see the climax of the fight? I know you. You can figure this out. Well, let's think back to yesterday, or last week. You might remember that Cody told us that he has a book of every single final blow that the Steel Samurai makes at every live performance. So the murder blow, he would have taken a photo of. It should be on the digital camera. Mr. Wright, your answer. We have ascertained the young boy is a great fan of the Steel Samurai. Why wouldn't he watch the climax of the fight? I'll show the evidence. I have evidence. Evidence? Yes, Your Honor. Why didn't Cody look away from the fight? Why did Cody look away from the fight? Because he was taking a photo of it. Here's my proof.
What's that? The camera. The witness stated that he recently received this camera. Yes, I'm aware of that. He wasn't entirely familiar with its operation. I'm aware of that too. Oh, correct. Why would Cody be looking somewhere else at that critical moment? Because he was looking at his camera. He was trying to take a picture. Hey! Bullseye. What's your problem, Pops? You got a thing for picking on little kids? Pressing, not picking. Good job, Phoenix. Cody was lying, clearly. Smart of you to realize there was no way he could just stand there, watching his hero, and not take a picture. Right. Cody, there was only one reason for you to look away from that fight, and that was because you wanted to take a picture. But having just received your camera, you weren't used to using it yet. So you missed the climax of the fight, correct? Yeah. Well, Phoenix, I bet you anything he's hiding more than that. Have him testify again. Right. Mia means business. Your Honor, the defense would like to request that Cody Hackins testify once more. Very well. Cody, could you please tell us about your camera, and about why you didn't take a picture of the fight? Welcome to the real world, kid. Oh no, I don't want to make him cry. He's 7. Yeah, you're right, Pops. The Steel Samurai had just escaped from the clutches of the... Hold on, that changes things! The Steel Samurai had just escaped from the clutches of the villain. The clutches? The clutches? Excuse me? Hold on. So I held up my camera to take a picture, but the lens wouldn't open in time, so I missed it. That's all that happened. Yep. Okay, who was clutching the Steel Samurai? Okay, that sounds kind of dirty now that I say that. Never mind. Why clutch? Who clutched? Who was gripping him? Like, were they grappling? I assume grappling? Anything strange in that testimony, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but I'd like to proceed with the cross-examination anyway. I'm very sure there's something sus. Save. Back. Alright, yeah, what do you mean the clutches of the villain? So you did see the beginning of the fight? Yeah. Did you notice anything unusual? I guess the Steel Samurai was moving a little strange. Moving strangely? That's all. Yeah, I told you I didn't take a picture. I would have once I got that lens open. Did he really not take a picture? Not even one? Press him. Nah, he definitely would have taken a picture. There's gotta be something I can use. Cody. Listen up, Cody Hackins. I know exactly what happened that day. You took a picture. Hey! Bullseye? How did you know? I see through all your lies, Cody Hackins. It's one of my powers. Phoenix, it's technically not one of your powers yet. Wow. This feels great. Yeah, I took a picture. Perhaps you can change your testimony to reflect this, Cody. I took a few shots, but it was too late, so I erased them. What? Why would you erase them? They're Steel Samurai photos. You erased them? Yeah. Why would you erase a picture of your beloved Steel Samurai victorious? Well, you know, why would I keep a picture like that? He's becoming less and less cooperative. I better find a clear contradiction soon, or some solid evidence. Well, I think the thing we have is that why would he not take a picture of the victorious Steel Samurai when he has a scrapbook of photos of every victory scene that the Steel Samurai has won? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Cody. I feel bad, but this is very important. Let's present that. Cody. What? Man, every time you say Cody, you follow it with something bad. I just wanted to thank you for giving me this the other day. Huh? Oh, right. What was it you told me then? I go to every live performance. I always take a picture when the Steel Samurai lands the final blow. Wazam! I got 'em all. I never missed one. A perfect collection. Cody, did you really get a picture of the Steel Samurai standing victorious over his foe? If you did, I find it hard to believe that you would just erase it. Wouldn't you keep it for your album? Ah! Mr. Wright, what exactly is this album? It's called Path to Glory. It's a collection of pictures of the Steel Samurai, all taken by Cody Hackins. He claims it's a perfect collection of every battle the Steel Samurai has won. I see. Don't you find this very odd, Your Honor? Among all his pictures of the Steel Samurai, none were taken that day. Order? Mr. Wright, have you an explanation? If the Steel Samurai had just defeated his adversary, I certainly would expect to see a picture of it in this album. Exactly my point, Your Honor. No, wait. No way. Phoenix, I think we've finally discovered the truth. And what a truth it is. Yeah? Well, here's the thing that concerns me deeply. The kid takes a picture every time the Steel Samurai wins. But in this testimony, he already admitted that the Steel Samurai was in the clutches of somebody else. What if the Steel Samurai didn't win? Mia, are we sure about this? Did he actually? Yes, I'm pretty sure what you're thinking is right. Tell them, Phoenix. Tell them what the truth is. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what's going on here. Why was there no picture in the album from the day of the murder? Why would the boy have erased the photos he took? Because the Steel Samurai didn't win. I can think of only one reason, Your Honor. The Steel Samurai didn't win. That's why Cody deleted these photos. You mean the Steel Samurai lost? Well, Cody, I'm right, aren't I? Tell the truth. The bad guy defeated the Steel Samurai. No way! No! It's impossible! The Steel Samurai never loses! He never loses to anyone ever! Your Honor, the witnesses revealed everything with his words. There was a reason why he lied and told us he didn't take a picture. The same reason he erased his precious photos. For Cody, it was inconceivable that the Steel Samurai could be defeated. However, Cody witnessed the impossible. He saw the Steel Samurai lose. Yet to admit what he saw would destroy everything he believed in. That's why he lied and said the Steel Samurai won.
So here's an interesting thing.
We know at 2 p.m., before 2:30, before Hammer dies, theoretically, there's someone who doesn't fit in the Steel Samurai costume. How tall is Hammer? I mean, we know he's 37 and Powers is 23, but I don't know. He couldn't handle the truth. Did this other person ambush him and knock him out for the costume? I don't know. Order, I will have order. Witness, I mean Cody, is this true? What did you see? Tell the court what you saw. Cody, that day you saw the Steel Samurai lose a fight, right? Okay, you're right. The Steel Samurai fell down, then he didn't move. Oh, that's even more fucking trauma. Wait. He died in the fucking Steel Samurai costume, didn't he? This is concerning. Okay, I have a lot of concerns right now. Please let us make it up to him. What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, right? The Steel Samurai was the murderer, not the victim. Yet according to your witness testimony, the Steel Samurai was the one who fell. Mr. Wright? What's going on? Apparently, we have all made a serious error. An error? What's this all about? Well, I think the Steel Samurai was the victim. The person who died was wearing the Steel Samurai costume. If you understand what really happened, it's actually quite simple. At the end of the fight, the Steel Samurai fell to the ground and lay still. In other words, the Steel Samurai was not the killer, but he was the victim. Don't you see? Jack Hammer was the Steel Samurai. Steel Samurai, but not Mr. Powers. Order, order, order. So the Steel Samurai in this photograph. You're saying the man in this costume was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer. That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. Also taking place outside of the studio, not inside. Important note, yes. Jack Hammer was present at the action scene run-through in the morning. Thus, he obviously knew about Will Powers' foot injury. But wait, hadn't Mr. Hammer gone to Studio 1 already? That's what everyone thought, but remember what Miss Oldbag said in her testimony? On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back. Is there even a detail from the start of this case that hasn't been discredited? Actually, a lot of them have been important in ways you might not expect. Because you'll note that everyone assumed that Hammer went to the studio at noon. But in actuality, he probably didn't go until 2. Mr. Jack Hammer left the employee area after lunch. However, no one saw him going to Studio 1. Nor was there a picture of him. He waited for Mr. Powers to take a nap in his room. Then he snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. But why would the victim do such a thing? I don't know. I get it. I thought that the Steel Samurai was moving strange. So was a different person inside the suit. Pops? Huh? Me? What? This is a Hercule Poirot sort of feel. The initial clues are all relevant, but not in the way you would first assume. Actually, there was one piece of data I saved. Data? Yeah, a photo on my digital camera. What? Show us, quick. No way, man. Not if you're gonna look at me like that. Now. Here, this is it. It's Studio fucking 2. I thought so. The doors on Studio 1 don't have a gate. It's Studio 2. Alright. Well, looking at this is still a little hard to say. I'm afraid that it could be anyone in that costume. Your opinion, Mr. Wright? I agree, Your Honor. This isn't decisive evidence. I'm sorry, this doesn't look like it's the proof we needed. I'll give it back. Wait, Phoenix? Mia? What? Look at that photo once more. That's it, Phoenix. That photo is all the evidence you need to win this trial. Because he died outside of Studio 2. He fell down, Jack Hammer fell down, on top of that one spike outside of Studio 2, and he died. I mean, I'm sure if we do some tests on that spike, we'll find out that it was Hammer who fell on the spike and died. Because that's what Cody said specifically. Steel Samurai fell down, and didn't get back up, and didn't move. What? Your Honor, may I see that photo once more, please? Certainly, I don't see why not. Luminoid... What an assumption, Lycosone. I will assure you, luminol does exist in this world, as does fingerprinting. It just hasn't come up yet. Phoenix, show him. There's a glaring, decisive inconsistency with the facts we know in that photo. Find the inconsistency. It's Studio 2. Your Honor, look at this. I see. A gate? Might I draw your attention to the number on that gate? Yeah, we're still on the Game Boy native cases. You gotta remember that they started adding mechanics in the DS ones where you had a lot more to do with touchscreens and microphone blowing, and I honestly don't know how they're gonna port that over, but we'll see. The number. Ah, yes. Well, it's hard to see, but it looks like a 2. Clearly not a 1, Your Honor, correct? Ah! I believe Mr. Edgeworth sees what I'm getting at. But that's impossible. What's this all about? Please explain, so I might be shocked along with the rest of the court. I'll use the studio guide map. The body was found here in Studio 1. Those Bondos are still fighting. They are. They are still fighting. It does not say 1 on the gate in the photo. Your Honor, here's the true scene of the crime. It was Studio 2. I think I could press anywhere in Studio 2, but it's Studio 2. Here at Studio 2. I see. That would explain the 2 on the gate in the photo. Your Honor, I find it very significant that the murder took place in Studio 2 because the trailer was there. As you may recall, there is a trailer in Studio 2. Now on that day, a meeting was held in that very trailer. There was a break during the meeting corresponding to the time of death. During that break, Mr. Salmonella and Miss D. Vasquez were outside eating steak. They were all at the scene of the crime. Alright, we getting an updated autopsy report. Are we? The path to the trailer was blocked. So we have heard. The path was blocked at 2:15. In other words, the victim went to Studio 2 before that time. Yes, I suppose that would be the case. Can you pull a dumb move and point to the employee area? You can if you want to. Remember Mr. Salmonella's testimony? Allow me to remind the court. He said no one in the trailer was guilty because they could not have gone to Studio 1. Yet in actuality, the reverse was true. Only someone in the trailer could have committed this murder. They were the only ones with access to the scene of the crime, Studio 2. Now mind you, if this was a reasonable court system, this would really be all we have to prove to get Powers off the hook, but no. Order, order. The defense makes the following claims. The scene of the crime is Studio 2. The person that the security tard, Miss Oldbag, saw was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer. Mr. Hammer, for some reason, stole a steel samurai costume. Then he went to Studio 2. This is madness. Jack Hammer is the victim. The victim. Victims don't have to be good people, Edgeworth. I know that you might think that since you're sitting in the prosecutor's seat and you think that all defendants are guilty. And I understand how that philosophy could have formed in you. But just because someone was murdered does not inherently mean they are free from sin. Why would he steal a steel samurai costume? Are you suggesting he did it to cover up the details of his own murder? Well, no, of course not. Or do you have proof? Give me proof that the victim, Jack Hammer, stole the costume. Don't we have those sleeping pills? In the employee area. This hurts in retrospect, not gonna lie. See, here's the thing. Right? There's sleeping pills. If you wanted to steal the Steel Samurai costume, why not give sleeping pills to Will Power and make him sleep? I have proof. I have proof. You do? You do, Mr. Wright? Not that now they're so surprised, I'm suddenly much less confident. I think I'm right, though. Here's my proof that Jack Hammer stole the costume. This is it. An empty medicine bottle. I found this on the table at the employee area. The same table where Mr. Hammer and Mr. Powers ate. The label reads, sleeping pills. Sleeping pills? The defendant, Mr. Powers, spent the entire afternoon sleeping. He was drugged by Mr. Hammer. Wait a moment. That bottle does raise some suspicions, yes, but there is no proof that Mr. Hammer used it. I have an idea. Fingerprint the bottle. Very well, let's hear it. I want to check this bottle for fingerprints. I love how during all of this, Cody's still chilling on the stand. Yeah, he's still here. If my claim is true, Mr. Hammer's fingerprints should show up on the bottle. Yeah, I was gonna say, luminol and fingerprinting absolutely exist in this world, like its own. I suppose you're right. Very well, the court will take possession of the bottle. Empty bottle given to the judge. Alright. This court will suspend proceedings on this current trial for today. Cody Hackins' testimony has revealed new possibilities in this case. In fact, things very well might have happened differently than we previously thought. The Steel Samurai seen by Miss Oldbag may have been the victim, Jack Hammer. The scene of the crime was not Studio 1, but Studio 2, and those in the trailer did have time to commit murder. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Your homework is to find the answer to the following question. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume? Who killed him and why? Find the answers for me by tomorrow.
Okay, I don't know why that's my fucking responsibility and not Gumshoe's, but sure.
That's a lot of homework. Mr. Edgeworth? You will need to reconsider your stance in this case. Above all, you will need to reconsider your suspicion of Mr. Will Powers. As you say, Your Honor. This trial will be extended until tomorrow. This is the last extension.
Yeah, this is the part of the game where the trials start getting long, TM. Alright. More investigations. I need water. October 19th, 2:47 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Whew. That was a close one. We were saved by a hair, but that's all that counts. I thought seriously about going home about 3 times during the trial. Where is your home now, Heaven? Me too.
Really? You both seemed so confident.
Ha, maybe I should take up a career in acting. I was ready to pronounce you dead about 3 times back there. Me too.
Dead?
Of course we're kidding.
Are you sure?
I wasn't kidding. Now, Mr. Powers, we have to go make our final investigation. But I promise you, we'll find the true killer by tomorrow's trial.
Right. Thanks.
Okay. Trial. 2nd day. Done. Time for day 3. Investigation. Are we gonna get Maya back, or are we just gonna have Mia this whole case? October 9th, 3:27 p.m. at Wright & Co. Law Offices. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad. I'm sorry I missed it. Maya? So, what happened? Well, I think we've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all we need is a motive and proof. Wow! Good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is all we have. Initial trial? What's that? Time for some weird Phoenix Wright world building. There's some weird lore in this series. That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Well, we've no time to waste. Steel Samurai. I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume? What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Huh. Which means the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where the trailer is. What? Was Maya always this excitable? Yes. Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? I can't see what's going on when Mia is here. So, no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go to talk to WP.
WP. Powers. Right. Probably the best idea you've had yet. Let's go to the detention center. October 19th, detention center. Visitor's room. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Where does she go? Is she just chilling in the spirit world? I don't think it's, like, technically conscious. I don't think they're technically conscious when they spirit channel. So, like, she has no idea what's going on until she gets back. Besides the obvious critique of the Japanese court system and to create a time limit for stakes, I don't think this is brought up again outside of the spin-off games. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. And you could wipe that grin off your face. Hey, WP, 1 day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Though there's not really anything I can do to help. I'm not really sure what I can do either. I mean, you were helpful for the entire day by channeling your sister. She had some good ideas. Alright, we're on investigation day 3, yeah. Please, this is no laughing matter. Producer Vasquez. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer. She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for about 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and... And what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. The scripts. Were they conspiring? Perhaps. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manila? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director. But something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought him to the Steel Samurai. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. Phoenix, did you just make the joke I think that you made? Mr. Hammer. Why are you not surprised this guy directed OVAs? It sounds exactly like the sort of thing he would be directing. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yeah, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Stummer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. Oh, those two have beef with each other. 5 years ago. Oh, they got beef with each other for sure. Yeah, let's go ask some other people about Vasquez. You know, considering Oldbag is a huge fan of Hammer, if she thinks Vasquez is to blame for Hammer losing his lead roles, wouldn't she be, like, really upset about that? October 19th, Global Studios, main gate. The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick, I think our guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. You eat, you die. Phew, she's alive. I love that's how Maya checks. That's the most relatable thing that old bag has said so far. You eat my donuts, you die.
Oh, one sec. I'm gonna shift my pillow slightly so I'm more comfortable while we do the rest of this case. Tell me about your thoughts on Miss Vasquez. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. So she always gets her way. She seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her. Sorry. When even Old Bag isn't allowed to have an opinion on this woman, what kind of power does she have? Old Bag has strong opinions about everything. Alright, tell me about Manila then. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal? Oh, he's soft, a pushover. Does whatever Vasquez wants him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? Okay, Maya, there's some communities we need to have a talk about, because yes, there are people who like being treated like dirt. That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? It makes sense. You're also 17, though, so I guess it makes sense that you wouldn't really know about that. No, it doesn't, Maya? I'm not allowed to say that word on Twitch, y'all know that, right? About Mr. Hammer. I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you drag a star down from the sky and stomp on it, calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Oh, she's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Powers' costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. Okay, this is an interesting thing to note. But does Dee Vasquez wear gloves? I think she does. She does wear gloves. So just a thought, if Dee Vasquez touched the bottle, her fingerprints wouldn't show up. I mean, she's got a very nice aesthetic, but, you know. We did notice and comment on that, so. Let's just go to the employee area. See if anyone's here. Characters with gloves always have something to hide. True. I should know. My favorite character wears gloves. October 19th, Global Studios employee area. I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming, just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. Yeah, I'm sure Will Powers would happily allow you backstage, Maya, once you help save him from being put in jail for the rest of his life. I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Also, can we note the fact that for 2 days, Gumshoe didn't notice that there were sleeping pills here? Just another thing. I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Yeah. No. No touching. Oh, hi, Gumshoe. Have you done your job today? Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean? I almost had a heart attack. I guess I can be a little dramatique at times. I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique indeed. Gumshoe is exactly as good at his job as the plot needs him to be. True. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. Oh, you're actually doing your job today. That's good.
So you're looking for traces of sleeping pills. How? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright. So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Steak plate added to the court record, found in the employee area. On it are traces of sleeping pills and a large bone. Hey, how's Edgy doing? How is Edgeworth doing anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Oh no, poor guy. Is he okay? That sounds really painful, Gumshoe. Whoa, talk about burns, pal. Aww. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Cups, bottles. Say, whatever happened with the empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So Edgeworth crushed a coffee cup full of hot coffee and burned his hand. Can someone get this poor man some, coping mechanisms, please? So that means... Yep, sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Were we? There is someone here with gloves. Tell us how the investigation's going. Tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. Yeah, I'm really worried about him if he's crushing hot coffee cups in his hand. That sounds like verge of angry breakdown. Alright, let's try the dressing room. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent! Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But... this week is the last episode of The Steel Samurai. What? No! What the fuck do you mean it's the last episode? What do you mean the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. Also, I heard that Global Studios is gonna change its programming. It's gonna change its programming? They're not gonna make kids shows anymore. That's a hell of a motive right there. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Studio policy. Why aren't they gonna make kids shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They don't want to forget this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids that love Steel Samurai? It's okay, I'm sure the kids will be fine. Maya is a kid and she's clearly not fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. Honestly, I think Path to Glory would probably prove that kids would be very sad best. And this is... A fan collected all of these photographs. Because abandoning your fan base to chase a demographic with no interest in your work is totally gonna work. Honestly, having Powers as a line-themed hero would be cool. Man, Powers could do a lot of awesome hero work. You gotta understand, this man has massive physique. You could play him off as a superhero super easily. You could give him a werewolf show. You could give him a lion show. His body type works so fucking well for the work he's in. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be canceled just because so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay, but what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. I was wondering if you could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yeah? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume, too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh, I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? How much juicy stuff is going on at the studio? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, the producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Also, as much as I don't like Salmonella, this also does potentially give him an out for working under her, because if she's blackmailing Hammer, it's also entirely possible she's blackmailing Manila. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I don't know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using a new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set? 5 years ago. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. Look, I mean, the more I hear, the worse she seems. And that's the dirt she has on Mr. Hammer. Hello, Motive. My name is Phoenix. Yeah, seriously. And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to. But it was an accident, right? Why don't they just make it public? Yeah, if Penny is Maya's age, which she is, she would have been 12 to 13 at the time of that death. This chick is seeming a lot like a Persona villain all of a sudden. Well, I mean, we already talked about how frickin' Red White is just Mr. Egg with less child abuse, so I guess I'm not surprised that there's Persona villains all over here. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. Oh fuck, I have to get it out of Oldbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know. These take place in the same year, too. I wonder if Redacted was messing with these people as a hobby. I don't know. Thanks. We'll try asking her. If she'll talk.
Alright, I guess we gotta go try to talk to Old Bag.
But she despises us, so that's not gonna work well. Okay, gumshoe music, he's still in the... What? You're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you just take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their damnedest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer! It's all due to Hammer! She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Listen, as annoying as Old Bag is as a character, I feel bad for her. Someone she dearly cared about just died. He's been accused of drugging someone and stealing their costume, and everyone at the studio is just pretending like he never happened or existed. Like, I feel real bad for Old Bag. Maybe we should keep a safe distance? Tell me about 5 years ago, Old Bag. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Nichols. Nichols? Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols? The assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers. Yes, Penny Nichols is her name. If you have a name in this series, it's probably a pun. Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that, and the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun. No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish, or do you have some kind of proof? I do. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove Mr. Hammer stole his costume. We can, because we have evidence. We have sleeping pills with his fingerprints. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills, with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? I'm sure old Hammer just had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof that he used those pills on Powers? Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes. So? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest her soul. Miss Oldbag. Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Miss Oldbag. You're right. 5 years ago there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the... We're so fucking dead. Phoenix is so fucking dead. She has ties to the mafia. Yeah, okay. Let's bring the mafia into this. This is not the last time we'll see the mafia. Great, she has ties to the mafia. Sure, more bombshells. Give them to me. In which Phoenix gets himself blackmailed again. She silenced that paparazzi. Are we saying silenced in the way that the SIU director in Persona 5 says silenced? Because that's not great. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with at this studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldback.
So, there's also our answer for why Vasquez has power over so many people. Sure, maybe Salmonella might like her on some level. But the thing is, she could get dirt on everyone here, and if the silenced by that paparazzi's name is any indication, she could have any of them killed. She got them a new pair of concrete shoes, probably, yeah. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. A photograph? Ah! Well, there's an answer to why that one piece of material is bent out front. Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer outside of Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight the bad guy on top of the stairs there. He pushed the other actor, and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't much feel like talking about it. I understand. Well, we have evidence. Seems like a dumb place to have a fight scene. From a pure perspective of someone who's done a lot of work in theater, this is why you make fake objects. Like, don't get me wrong, I've heard dumber, but you know, when we needed a switchblade when I was in high school for a play I was in, we didn't use a switchblade. We took a switch comb and we covered it with aluminum foil to make it look like one. If you have the risk that you're going to fall into a deadly object, maybe you should make the flower box case out of rubber, or something that won't kill you if you fall onto it, knowing that there's a risk, you know? You gotta be careful with stunts of any kind. And they weren't careful enough. Well, Miss Oldbag was actually very nice today. Very reasonable. Well, are you guys ready to go get blackmailed and nearly die again? Because I think we know who we need to show this photo to, because Phoenix Wright is such a dum-dum. Studio 1 entrance. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? Yeah, we can take Oldbag and Cody out for ice cream. They can go and actually reconcile and try to understand each other a little bit better. I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. Here's the thing. If you wanted to end the Steel Samurai to move away from kids' shows, and if you wanted to remove Hammer, who has this problematic history that could get your studio in trouble, this would be the perfect way for a producer to do both of those things. Well, let's go get ourselves killed. October 19th, Studio 2 entrance. Hey, Nick, it's Miss Vasquez. Legit, if I had info like this, the last person you'd show is the suspect. Listen. No one ever said Phoenix Wright is that smart. Hello? 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 Oh. Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Ooh, people have opinions on Vasquez. Mr. Hammer? Excuse me? Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder and... Shh.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh dear. Let's do the stupidest possible thing. She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well, old bag. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, right? Self-preservation, what's that? Listen, Phoenix is Phoenix. He has no self-preservation instinct at all. Right, anyway. Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer? The wind. Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind? Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. Yeah, it's a trap. It's fine. Here, let's examine that one thing that someone died on earlier. There's some flowers here. Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. Someone died on it before my, You came. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? 5 straight years and no one straightened or replaced it. Nope. That's why he was doing a kids show for a petty charge. So I'm a blackmailer now. Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. No, I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? How many people have you killed? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me ruin his life for 4 years? 5 years over a mere accident. And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence. Boys. Fuck. Phoenix, you're so stupid. Why is Phoenix so stupid? Alright, we got the Yakuza brothers here. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow? How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Fucking run, Phoenix! Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, a race away. No! Oh! Oh! God bless Gumshoe. Gumshoe, please help. Please. Hold it right there. I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow, then, in court. I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you, Gumshoe. You are a blessed man. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. Can I give you a hug, please? 'Cause you deserve it. Okay, not for nothing, but who entrusted Gumshoe with a gun? Well, Gumshoe does clearly know how to help people. I don't get many chances to practice this sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you! I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. I was just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just... I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez. Oh, we didn't get murdered. Oh my god. Okay, can we talk about how D. Vasquez just casually has 4 hitmen chilling in her trailer at all times? 4. Alright, it's time, kids. October 20th, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 4. See, all of that is also why I'm like, yeah, Sal Manila is a creepy guy, but I don't think that he was that deep in a relationship with D or anything from what we've seen so far. It's probably much more likely that she's got fucking dirt on him too. You're just gonna say it? Having Phoenix almost get murdered was worth it for the Gumshoe scene. Wow. No, he's just horrifically uncomfortable. Yep. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today I will call on people present in Studio 2 that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Hey, Edgeworth, can we also call in Gumshoe to talk about how D. Vasquez tried to kill 2 people yesterday? No? We're not gonna mention that? Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, 2 people, including a minor. Like, again, Maya is relatively mature for her age, but she is a child. And the casualness with which she just did that is... yeah. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Alright, this is gonna be a long little section here. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2? As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you much pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Edgeworth's just not having a fun trial. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick? I know she did it. Make her pay. Right? If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later, when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with that monkey's head toppling over. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Okay, where the fuck are the bones? Time to save. The meeting began at 12, it ended at 4, there was to be a rehearsal. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. We took a 2-minute break. Salad ate T-bone steaks. Okay. This is a little weird. Yeah, there would be... We have a steak plate. We're just gonna try presenting the fucking steak plate. Yeah, wouldn't there be fucking bones? Oh, the music stopped. As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak? But I say you did not. What's this now, right? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manila ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Well, she was killing the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Is it really so silly to think that she threw away the bone? Apparently it is. Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak. She ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Oh, shit, okay. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh, yes. The samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? Well, it wasn't actually the murder weapon, was it? I think you would have had a great deal of difficulty using that as the weapon. And Edgeworth is just standing here with a bucket of popcorn like, well, you know. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see. Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. Yes, but like, Gumshoe didn't do any fingerprint testing until fricking yesterday. Did he actually check for blood? Did he? I mean, I love the guy, but did he? I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. I think it's just the fact that the spear was broken. Yeah. It's gotta be the spear, right? I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Edgeworth's having, like... I can't blame him for crushing a coffee cup. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning's action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order, order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Don't bully Edgeworth. He's having a rough enough time as it is. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? Yeah, probably the same one that was used 5 years ago. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon yen. Where's my 5-year-old photo? This one. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing atop of the stairs. Let's just cause a whole media scandal while we're here. Order, order. If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This photo is of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in his photo. See how this fence post pierced him through the chest. What are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again. Okay. There's a lot of... my brain is passing through a lot of thoughts right now. So, they killed him at Studio 2. They have the van that she said explicitly that Sal and she took the van to Studio 1. So clearly that's how she moved the body. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside of the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs and onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff, though I had to erase you earlier. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died as the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found in Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming I carried the body to Studio 1, and I returned to the trailer, all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? You had a fucking van. The break in the meeting the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. One of your 4 male escorts did it. Yeah, she has a 5th one, too, and his name is Sal. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance... I'm gonna save again, because we've been going through a lot of things really fast here. Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. She used the van. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. And then, before everyone else got there, you put the body in the magistrate costume. Hold on, right? Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manila was a conspirator? Yeah, I mean, he kinda had to see it. Of course, Sal Manila has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. What? I win? So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Do you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez? So it was you. You killed Jack Hammer. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did, Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right? But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. Testify again, bitch. This lady. What? We do have the kid's photo, yeah. Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again, Vasquez. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? No one to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. Damn! To come so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Oh? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I love him so much. I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting. I didn't. It's just the best line. He's trying so hard. It's okay, Edgy. We still care about you. I see. Very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed, verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body.
I like that he's trying to help Phoenix, but he's really bad at it.
Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter.
Nick!
Why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it, too. But... wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that... Edgeworth.
It's almost like Edgeworth actually really does care more about justice deep down than he does about guilty verdicts.
After finding the body. Okay, we can save again now.
Alright, we're so close.
I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing to Powers, saying he did it.
Edgeworth will get a guilty verdict, just not for Will Powers. I'm sure he can pop over to D. Vasquez's case in a week and he'll be fine.
I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issue raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Oh boy, here we go, chat.
Alright, I think we just gotta press everything. Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need to twist the truth out of her, Nick.
Right.
Why would she get the notes if the show was ending? Good question. You were with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when you found the body.
What time was that? We were to meet at 5 p.m. for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then.
When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio?
About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you.
Press harder. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio?
They weren't there yet.
Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help.
Oh, what did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy.
Boy? Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct?
So he says.
Did no one go to call him?
Remember.
Remember what?
There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm.
You calmly threatened a child's life earlier, so... You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around?
The other way around?
You discovered a murdered body, and one person was missing. Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? Yeah, if I found that one half of the main actors in my show was dead, and the other actor was nowhere to be seen, I would be terrified that they had both been killed.
I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez?
Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without a steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. Bitch, he is like 6'7", pure muscle with massive hair. How would he not stand out?
We often left him on his bus when at a shooting location.
No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers.
Powers deserves better. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. I was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Much like this silence. Silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Old bag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. More pressing harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all of this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there that I can use. Okay. You asked to be left out. Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot riding on it, with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. Thankfully, Gumshoe appears to not be scared of anything. The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. I wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after... She just fucked up real bad. She just fucked up really badly. She said she didn't bring her script over to Studio 1, where they were having the rehearsal, right? Because she knew there was a murder. She already knew there was a murder before she went to the studio. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Yeah, Edgeworth, thank you. Someone has a brain cell. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Edgeworth does our job for us, the stream. Edgy, we love you. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Order, order. Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. It's almost like Edgeworth is actually a reasonable human being. Or are you thinking of a career change to the defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation?
I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. Yeah, I fail to see how this still isn't prosecution. I don't think it matters whether the defense or the prosecution brings it up. It's a problem. So the prosecution is in cahoots in the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Thank you, Edgeworth. Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and didn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. What injury did Hammer have? How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her here, or everything we've done will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. But Hammer wasn't the one that was hurt. The one who was hurt in this case, in the morning, that wouldn't be able to rehearse because he twisted his ankle, was Powers, not Hammer. It was Powers. So how would you know that Hammer was injured? Yep. You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you just think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending. One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you saw Mr. Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah. And when was he doing this? Well, it would have had to been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. It's really nice to have Edgeworth work with us for once. Like, man, this makes life easier. Miss Vasquez. You met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Ugh. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for her to snap the pipe, too. Listen, I get that you don't see a motive, but, like, she's clearly the one who could have murdered him. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it's unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Yeah, she had a motive. Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court the evidence of Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in the murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? Yeah, enough forensic evidence could convict her without one, frankly. It's either her or Manila at this point. Manila has far less reason to do this. Even if he's at least complicit to this murder. 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up on trial. It began that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that incident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who killed D. Vasquez, and not the other way around. What motive was Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez is murdered for murder. Listen, here's the thing. Vasquez is with the mafia. She's willing to cover shit up. She's willing to kill people to cover shit up. But does Miss Vasquez have a motive? No. But you know who does have a motive. You know who's been wholly suspicious and would actively be pinning a murder on the Steel Samurai by wearing the costume. Mr. Hammer. Mr. Hammer was being blackmailed by Miss Vasquez. This was self-defense. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's this now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. He came dressed as the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer specifically drugged Will Powers so that he could wear the costume, so that he could look like Will, so that he could come kill D. Vasquez and blame it on Will Powers. Yeah, Hammer was trying to frame Powers for the murder of D. Vasquez, but D. Vasquez ended up killing him in self-defense. Of course, she freaked out, because now they got a dead body on their hand. What is she supposed to do? She just killed a man. Directly with her own hands, when I bet she's only had hitmen do it before. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. Ah, we get the awesome theme again. What? I mean, don't get me wrong. She's still guilty of tampering with evidence and a crime scene, as is Salmonella. But, honestly, it doesn't make sense that she would kill him. It makes perfect sense that he would want to kill her. What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all these years. There it goes! She broke the pipe, finally. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez! No! Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Is this character development I see? Oh well. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Not guilty. Yeah, I think that's character development. We got the... Also probably a crush. We'll get there. We'll get there. That is all. The court is adjourned. October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for murder. This man needs a hug now. Also, honestly, like, of all people here, Miss Vasquez probably needs the most therapy. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Ooh, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame Will Powers? Well... He never got to play the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer wanted to put blame on you because he was the evil magistrate. And he's a dum-dum who doesn't realize that villain roles are the most fun to play. It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him at any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. See, Will is an actual actor who cares about acting more than anything else, and you can tell the difference between him and Hammer. Hammer only cares about his own fame. Hammer is upset that he's on kids' shows after his accident. Hammer is upset that he has to play the villain, instead of finding joy in the role that he has and making it the best he can be. What a sweetie pie, you're so sad he'll be gone forever. Actually, don't worry, we will see Will Powers again. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. If you got the chance to be the main villain, you'd be pumped. Will is a genuinely good and pure person. I hope he goes on to do good things. We will see him again. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick? Edgeworth. Hi there, Edgeworth. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Oh, this freaking song. Vasquez would have gotten away with it if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. Fun surprise at the end of this case. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Edgeworth is a Steel Samurai fanboy. Liar. Oh, Phoenix thinks he's lying. He is, though. Edgeworth really likes Steel Samurai. In the spin-off game where you get to see inside of Edgeworth's office, he has a Steel Samurai figurine. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better if we had not met. Oh, it's time. It's time for that fucking line, isn't it? Yes! Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. They call that love, sweetie. They do. I mean, honey. He doesn't know what a crush feels like, I guess. Unnecessary feelings. He said the thing. Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Man, that has fucking vibes of another scene with another ship I like. I'm starting to realize there's a pattern. Gee, I'm almost predictable or something. Is it this gay in Japanese? I know it's gay. I don't know how gay, though. My Japanese is not good enough to read a full visual novel, unfortunately. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals! Right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me, what's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. It caused quite a stir by revealing the accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kid shows again. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy the trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and the assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the will powers. Oh good, they do stay in contact with Penny and Cody. I really want to start it, chat. We're gonna start it. Hold on, I need to update the stream title. Because we need to start this case, honey. It has vibes. Oh, it has vibes. Wait, is Powers playing the Pink Princess? Actually, they didn't specify whether he's playing the Steel Samurai or not in this scene. He is still the Steel Samurai, for the record. But the way they put that made it seem like he's totally in drag. That's an ominous cover image. Yeah, a very ominous figure, towering over Edgeworth with a hand over his head. I'm sure that's fine, and everything's fine, and there is nothing to be concerned about. I'm gonna shut up and let this play. Well, okay, yeah, I mean, in retrospect, a lot of my shipping choices, modern and past, make a lot of sense now. What? Well, the opening really made it look like Edgeworth shot a guy. December 25th, 10:08 a.m. Wright & Co. offices. Hey, Nick. Do you know if there are any good waterfalls around here? Waterfalls? Dare I ask why? I don't know, shooting someone still seems pretty not fine to me. Are we defending Edgeworth in this case? I don't know. Duh, Nick. Isn't it obvious? I need a waterfall to stand under. Preferably a freezing one. Oh. Yeah, are we defending Edgeworth in this case? Is that a part of your spirit medium training? Of course, except I've been slacking off lately. I need to brave the elements and be forged anew under the rushing spring waters. Does the one Christmas image come from this case? Yes, it does. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Okay. I don't know about any falls per se, but Gourd Lake is pretty close. Oh, darn. Sorry, but them's the breaks. Couldn't you just take a cold shower or something? Good idea. So much for rushing spring waters. Oh no, here we go. Next in the news. A large unidentified animal was sighted at Gourd Lake. The town is buzzing with excitement. Locals are calling it Gordy. in a tip of the hat to Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. Though its namesake, Nessie, proved to be a hoax. Locals are confident that their Gordy is the real deal. Boring. Can't they show real news for a change? Phoenix, be careful what you wish for. Nick? The water pressure's kinda low in that shower. You want more pressure, huh? Why don't you go down to the fire department and have them spray you with the hose? Yes, this is where Gordy comes from. Good idea, Nick. Wait, no, I was kidding. Apparently, Fey blood is no aid in detecting sarcasm. Oh boy. We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. Strange occurrences continue at Gourd Lake, but this time, it's murder. Gourd Lake again? The body of a man was found in a lake early this morning. A suspect was apprehended. Sources inside the police department revealed that the suspect's name is Miles Edgeworth, age 24. Edgeworth was an up-and-coming prosecutor, known for his skill and connections. He was guaranteed a long and rewarding career. Has he thrown it all away? Edgeworth? What's going on? Edgeworth would never do something like... Nick? Yipes, Maya? The fireman yelled at me when I called him. Yes, we have to save our rival. We've got bigger things to worry about than that. They arrested Edgeworth. What? You mean the prosecutor? Yeah, he's a suspect in a murder. You'd love to stick around, but you gotta go call. Yeah, have fun, Code of Bees. I mean, we're not gonna go for super long. As much as I'd love to stay up all night and do this whole case, that is not plausible. What? When? Where? Whom? Why? How? I don't know. Let's go find out, Nick. Yeah, we need to go to the fucking detention center immediately. December 25th. Detention center visitors room. You know, Nick, we've all been in here one time or another, haven't we? I guess it comes with the territory. I'm not sure it's something we should mention to too many people. Hey, buddy. Ah! Hey, Edgeworth, come back. What are you doing here? Nick, I don't think he's in a very good mood. Well, he is in detention. Were you in a good mood when you were here? So you've come to laugh at the fallen attorney. Then laugh. Laugh. Well, why aren't you laughing? Nick, should we be laughing? Nah, it's a trick. Laugh and he'll get mad, or burst into tears. Edgeworth, we don't have so much free time that we can spend it coming down here to laugh at you. Yes, you do. Actually, he's right. I hoped you wouldn't come. I didn't want you to see me. Not like this. No, we want to help you. Shut up. I didn't want to see you like this either. Believe me. What happened? Edgeworth, tell me what happened. Why should I? What are you going to do about it? Duh! We're gonna help you! That's what! Huh? Help me? You? Don't be ridiculous. Sorry? You're a novice. You've only been in 3 trials. Hey! They changed that line of dialogue. Yeah, I saw this in a Tumblr post a few years ago, but in the remastered versions of this scene, it's actively been made gayer. I didn't think that was possible, but they did it. Sure, you got lucky and won all 3, but your luck's bound to run out someday. You need real skill, right? Experience. Nick, He's insulting you. Nick? Why am I always the one who has to get angry? The murder took place at Gourd Lake, correct? Yes, late last night. The lake is a long way from your offices and the courthouse. Why were you down there? I see no need to tell you. Mr. Edgeworth, you didn't really... Gordy. Huh? I went to see Gordy. Gordy? What's that? I'll tell you later. Why won't Edgeworth talk to us? Edgeworth, please. We want to help you. Let me help you. I don't want to deal with losing my favorite character again. Well, I think it's time to do the meme. The original translators didn't think that Phoenix and Edgeworth's relationship would bring so much with the LGBT community, so they changed a lot of lines after finding out. Honestly, I have a lot of respect for that. They saw how people reacted to the game and what they got attached to, and they altered it with respect to their audience. I can really respect that. It shows a team that cares about the people that played their game. Your attorney's badge. Edgeworth, let me defend you. Good one, Wright. But I'm not that hard up. Not yet. What do you mean by that? Me. Trust a wet-behind-the-ears lawyer with only 3 trials under his belt. Never. What? My case is near hopeless, right? Wait, did I misread your post? No, I'm pretty sure when I've seen it changed, it's explicitly been changed to make it gayer, is the thing. So changing it was from something that was less overt in expressing feelings to something that was more overt. It's the opposite of what you're thinking, Lycosone. When I say they saw that this couple resonated with the LGBT community, I mean that they took that into account and actually put even more text towards supporting that, because they saw how much that it meant to people. And honestly, as a player, I can deeply respect the translators for looking and seeing what, again, I can respect these translators a lot for seeing something that mattered so deeply to their player base and saying, yes, we're going to actually enhance that in future versions. Alright, I'm gonna continue with our scene now. Every defense attorney I've talked to has turned me down. What? Simply put, they were afraid they'd lose. It occurred to me that it might be my fault that they lack confidence. After all, I did get every single one of their clients declared guilty. I don't believe it. Regardless, I don't want you involved in this. You in particular, I cannot ask to do this. Did you do it? Edgeworth, this is really hard for me to ask. But you didn't do it, right? Right? Think what you will. I have only one request. Huh? Stay out of this case. Why? But Nick is trying to help you. I know that. But I don't want your help, okay? Why not? Look, just go away and leave me alone. Nick? Mr. Edgeworth did it, didn't he? Maya, let's go investigate elsewhere. But Nick... I don't care what he thinks. we're gonna defend him. But we are going to defend him next week, because it is 10:40, and I need to rest. I just wanted to show you the opening of this case, because it saddles me with unnecessary feelings. So, yeah, this case has a lot of, very good content for using that emote. I hope you all have a good night, and return with us for next week, when we'll be saving Edgeworth. Hopefully. Let's not mess this one up.